gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
What's going on, baby? Your boy Cedric D coming back with you all on a Wednesday. Got my tag team partners, JD. I got Man up there. Joey is not with us this week. Gentlemen, good evening to you all.
Going on? What's going on?
How's everybody doing? How you guys doing?
Hey, I'm doing pretty doggone good. I'm looking at my team, the Detroit Lions, going off a wrestling topic for a moment. My team is ranked second in the NFC right now. So I'm a happy freaking man. And gotta love that. So that's my outside of wrestling reference for today. Nesha, nice. Good evening to you. Thanks for joining us tonight. Joey must be grounded. Technically, yeah, but not the grounded that you're thinking of. But it's okay. It's okay. But yeah, Joey's not here with us, and he's missing a great topic tonight. We're doing top 10 favorite ring technicians, JD.
Absolutely. So tonight we're going to be talking about those wrestlers that we consider sort of those smooth technical wrestlers in the ring. They're chain wrestlers. The throwing, they usually are anchored in some kind of amateur wrestling sort of style, or in maybe even a martial arts submission style background as well. Some kind of grappling wrestling sort of amateur style. Yeah. And they have a tendency to lean on pretty heavily on submissions.
Absolutely. So if you all recall, a couple of weeks ago we did our top 10 favorite brawlers. This is the other side of the spectrum for the on the wrestling spectrum. So that's what we're going to jump into tonight. So I'm excited to be joining my tag team partners for this journey. I forgot this last night, but I'm not gonna forget it this week. That's what we do here at Bells and Belts. We have a bell, we doggone try to use it. But before we jump into our top 10, and as always, whenever we do our top 10s, we ask that you all join in on a conversation, and we really want to hear from you all tonight.
Yeah, we want you guys to count down with us as we go. So we're going to be working from number 10 through number 1. Of course, 10 being our least favorite, number 1 being our most favorite. We want you guys to join with us. Throw your number 10, your number 9, your number 8 as we go in the chat, and let us know who you love.
Yeah. So you definitely chime in on the conversation. We thank you all if you're watching us on YouTube or in the Bells Bell group or in Champions Bell Club. We thank you all for tuning in, but whatnot. But before we give up festivities, we definitely want to give a shout out to the man, the legend. Wishing him a happy heavenly 71st birthday to the Macho Man Randy Savage, brother. Yeah. He's the cream of the crop, brother. Yeah. So Macho Man Randy Savage, definitely missed. Absolutely. So
yes, missed deeply. So and he is. I've seen a lot of posts today on the various belt groups and wrestling groups, and a lot of really wonderful memories. People talking about their favorite memories of him growing up, matches, interviews. Of course, he was his cream of the crop is a classic, and so it was really nice to see all that love for Macho Man today.
I loved it, and that's the song in the graphic he had him. He had the Intercontinental Championship. A lot of people who has held this belt, I'm sure we're going to see on our list tonight. So you guys definitely stay tuned here on Bells and Belts. But we're going to go ahead and kick this started. Man up's quiet right now because I'm wearing the hat of my Lions, and my Lions have a better record than his Houston Texans. So we're gonna get started with Man Up. Man Up, good evening.
Hey,
I had to, Man Up. he ain't knew I was gonna do that to him. So I love getting this reaction from Man Up. If you all haven't noticed,
Hey, but I gotta say, I gotta give an outside wrestling reference too. I'm glad my Texans are playing good with their sensational quarterback. All right, now with that being said, my number 10,
yes, sir.
My number 10 is going to be a controversial one. I know a lot of people.
Right off the bat, Man Up.
Yeah,
dude. We just getting started. You already going controversial?
Yes. I know who Nesh's favorite football team is. It's the same as my mom's. But what I'm gonna say? Oh, now I know this guy is controversial. The things that has happened. He's no longer with us. But I'm not getting into all of that. I'm getting into what he did in the ring, not outside the ring. So I'm gonna go ahead, and I'm pretty sure Cedric saying that he know who I'm talking about. I'm talking. Yep. Chris Benoit, the Rabbit Wolverine, Toothless Aggression, whatever you want to call him. But yeah, I think he was a good technical wrestler. You know, he was very passionate about it and all that good stuff. So I'm not gonna stay too long on him because of the hot topic. But with that being said, I'm a huge Chris Benoit fan. I just love his styles, a lot of his matches he's done. You know how he came up and. Left WCW as the World Heavyweight Champion, came over to at that time WWL because he vacated it. So, got to give that man some props, man.
There you go, Cedric. We cleared it, Cedric.
Oh, good. Okay, good deal. Yeah. All right, JD, moving on to number 2. I love it.
Moving on to number 2. Okay, so I'm going for my number 10. So number 10 is first starting off with me is Mr. Lord Steven Regal.
Yes.
Yeah, he's my number 10. Steven Regal was this awesome throwback. Folks forget how good he was after what happened. Yeah, no, I agree with Nesha, and it's hard because I think people grew up fans of the work, and because of what happened, and out of respect for the family, we generally don't talk about him and generally don't mention him.
Yeah.
But it's his body of work was phenomenal.
Exactly. Over the years, a lot of folks associate the in-ring work with what happened. Is it fair? That's for someone else to decide or whatnot.
Yeah.
But it's like it was one of the was like. Do we celebrate them? Do we not celebrate them? Whatnot. Yeah. So I think even because we're like a generation removed from when that happened. It really has been that long. We're a generation removed from when that happened, but it's still it's a sore spot. It really is.
It is. Yeah, it is, and understandably so.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jake. Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah. So moving on to William Regal. William, for me in WCW, was a real breath of fresh air when we were in the land of brawlers and power wrestlers. William was sort of somebody that came in and really sort of brought a nuanced sort of style into the mix. I think his famous shoot match with Goldberg in WCW will go down in infamy. When he tied Goldberg up in knots and was chain wrestling him all over the ring. But he comes back. He comes from a legitimate shoot wrestling background in England, obviously coming out of the carnival sort of wrestling fairground circuit that he came up in Blackpool. He used a really mat-based technical style, implemented a lot of suplexes like we talked about earlier in the conversation. You see sort of that amateur sort of wrestling style sort of coming to the surface. He grounds people, and then he uses some really nasty, sort of painful-looking submissions. And one thing I love about William Regal is just how aggressive he was in his wrestling, sort of chain wrestling, and in his submission work. His stuff looked like it hurt, and he looked like he enjoyed that it hurt. And so props out to William Regal.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Good call on the number 10. Hey, before I get my number 10, I'm reminding you all go ahead and drop y'all number 10s in the comments. We definitely want to highlight them on air. So go ahead and drop them in there. My number 10. Starting the trend of my traveling NWA World Champions. A lot of them had to be that level of guy to be able to go to any territory in the country and have that level of a match with just about anybody, and a lot of them were on the technical side, including my number 10, former NWA World Heavyweight Champion Jack Briscoe, with a figure 4 leg lock on Harley Race. Jack Briscoe definitely based in amateur and had the golden freaking looks, looked like a freaking million bucks. And wrestling inside of the ring is even freaking better. So. And definitely in a time, the man had a pretty long reign in the freaking 70s as the world heavyweight champion. So Jack Briscoe, gotta have him on my list.
Absolutely,
Nice.
Great choice, solid choice.
Absolutely.
All right. So don't forget to join us as we're going along, folks. Anybody that's watching along at home, throw your favorite technical wrestlers out there. Let us know who your number 10 or your number 9 is as we move through here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we do this show. We love the feedback and the involvement from people watching. So let's keep that going. All right. My number 9 is going to be someone that I don't think a lot of people would call him a technical wrestler, but I do. He has been mentioned before as being technical, but I'm talking about the one and only Mr. Daniel Bryan.
Okay.
Yeah, to me, I think the way he would do everything, he said he's the man of 1,000 holes or something like that. He said 1,000 submissions, whatever, however he worded that.
If he said that's freaking plagiarism to the highest definitely the degree. So
he said it's something like that. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but it was something around that nature. But anyway,
okay.
I give Daniel Bryan credit for a lot of things he has done in this business and his hard work and stuff like that, and a lot of the great matches. And the one that stands out to me, if I'm not mistaken, that was either SummerSlam or WrestleMania, one of the two, to where he had to go through Triple H and somebody else to win the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, that was WrestleMania.
Okay, all right, I couldn't remember on top of my head. And the I really thought that he was not going to end up doing it because it seemed like he was just going through hell, especially for somebody, I guess you could say, that's undersized and, things like that. And I know times has changed now, but it just didn't seem like he would be one of those that be on top. But, hey, I give this man kudos and credit. He worked hard. Daniel Bryan is one of my daughter's favorites. Yep.
I actually think he at one point he was probably one of the better technical wrestlers on the planet. So I don't think there's any question. Definitely when he was in the WWE, his style got sort of modified and changed up a little bit. You saw a little bit more of the sort of the smash mouth kind of style. But most of what you're seeing in AEW right now, and also what he was doing in Ring of Honor before that on the Indies, was definitely a technical mat based sort of submission style. So.
Yes, absolutely. All right, JD.
All right, my number 2 is Bob Backlund.
Number 9.
Or number 9, sorry. My number second choice, number 9. Sorry, is I always get confused in these. Bob again was a legitimate amateur wrestling champion. He won the Division II, I believe, and Division II NCAA championship at 190 pounds, and then the next year went on to compete in the heavyweight class and finish 5th in the NCAA Division II Nationals, which is no easy feat. His entire repertoire was sort of based on that sort of amateur sort of wrestling. I mean, he had a strong base in suplex work and throws. He used submissions as well, but a lot of chain wrestling, a lot of mat based wrestling. He was legitimate wrestler, and he he could easily transition from one hold to the next, and did it pretty smoothly. So
Absolutely.
I always liked that cross-faced chicken wing right there.
there you go.
Yeah, man up. Just let you know that if I ever see you in person, this is the move I'm going to put on you.
There you go.
Oh, you got to catch me first.
Man, look here, look here, man, look here. You cut that out. So, okay, number 9. I always say it's a rarity that we don't cover women on Bells and Bells, but it's a rarity where we actually get a chance to actually spotlight women here on Bells and Bells. Exactly, I got you, and I got y'all with my number 9, the virtuosa Deonna Purrazzo. I was introduced to her when she was in Ring of Honor. I saw her at a couple shows of him here in Texas. I saw her a couple of indie shows up in Austin. So she's freaking amazing. I gotta find the picture that I took with her. It was a couple of them. Yeah. So, but yeah, Deonna Purrazzo. I mean, look at this. She's a freaking savant, man. It's like then she can go. She can go, and she can match any woman in the ring, move for move, and bring it. So
yeah,
Purrazzo is at number 9. So yes, and yes.
I think, and I love her work. I know Joey, who can't be here to sort of offer his opinions this evening or his list. Oh, here we go.
Generic Jobber, good evening to you.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, my biggest issue with Miss Purrazzo is not actually with her. It's the fact that her game, from a technical perspective, is so far ahead of most of the people she's working with that she doesn't really get a chance to sort of showcase just how good she often is. She's really good. And I mean, her matches are great. But it's almost as though the rest of this sort of the female wrestlers right now currently sort of almost need to kind of catch up to her a little bit in terms of what she does.
Exactly.
And I think when that happens, and it's coming because that's how this stuff works, some sort of shows the way, and then a whole bunch of other people see that success and they start learning from it, and they start matching it or repeating it. I think she's going to be one of those people that sort of leads the women into that next level of competition in pro wrestling. So
I want to see that. We can segue for real quick off of this. I would love to see that, but in the current era that we're in regards to wrestling fandom, I see those coming. We're gonna come to those. In the current landscape of wrestling / sports entertainment, is I'm sure there's those who wants to see that. Hey,
Antonio's in the house. How you doing, brother?
Awesome, appreciate it. There are those out there who want to see that that hold for hold, catch as catch can't, for lack of a better word, hold reversal, chain wrestling type thing, whatnot, men and women, and I'm sure there are those who don't want to see that. So it's all about finding that blend, you know.
It is. It's all about the blend, and a certain style works for a certain person, for sure.
Me personally.
Go ahead, man.
I'm sorry. I thought you were done. Go ahead.
No. I was just going to say it's not so much just the chain wrestling and the technique stuff that she's doing, but it's the level of skill that she's developed and sort of built into her repertoire and her work. And I think more and more people are going to see that as the standard that they're shooting for. And I think as that happens, you're going to see it elevate. And I certainly think that's happening in Impact with the women's division. Joey's certainly gone on a few tangents telling folks about that, deservedly so, because I think it's true. And I think it's interesting. I think that the women's revolution is going to happen in that under that banner. It's not going to happen in WWE and AEW.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You basically said what I was going to say. I was going to say exactly this. I want to see women throwing them hands. I want to see you fight, you brawl, technician, whatever it may be. I want to see you do exactly what the guys are doing. That's what I like to see. When I tune into wrestling or a boxing match or whatever, any kind of contact sport, that's what I want to see. You know what I mean?
Let's just say Natty probably belongs more than a lot of the guys, in her opinion. Definitely.
Absolutely. But in the Natty conversation and whatnot, I think a Natty would definitely give a Deonna Purrazzo a go in Impact Wrestling when a certain brand is not asking that of you, and you have to tailor what you can do to satisfy that requirement. That's what we get. Yeah. So yeah. So
there you go.
Nobody.
Shout out to Mommy from Antonio.
I wouldn't say.
I can't say she's technical.
I wouldn't say she's technical.
I say she's a brawler.
Yeah, the needle will lean more towards brawler. And being that she's a lot bigger than a lot of the people in that division is kind of more of the. I don't want to say a giant complex or whatnot, but it's like, yeah, real brawler. She mauls pretty much anybody that's in that division who isn't Nia Jax, Raquel Rodriguez, and those who are those who don't really see legitimately see eye to eye with her, because a lot of the women in that division are like really not on that stature of her, not necessarily ring wise or talent wise. I'm just saying build wise,
just physically.
Yeah,
for sure,
absolutely.
All right, man up.
We're back to 8.
Yep, absolutely.
You didn't give your number 9? I thought you did.
I did. No, yeah, we're on 8.
Okay,
yeah, all right. That was that whole women's division discussion.
Oh, okay,
exactly. Yeah, and we're gonna pick this up so we can get to 5 by the halfway point. So we'll pick
my number 8 is going to be the Phenomenal, who traveled all over the place and has done it all. I mean, done it all everywhere he's been. So.
Phenomenal.
What can you say about AJ Styles, man? I love. Okay, when I first saw AJ Styles, I was watching a little bit of New Japan, and I saw him there. And I'm not gonna lie, I was shocked when I saw him, because I was like, wait a minute, I ain't gonna get into that because that's a whole nother conversation. But then when I saw him, I'll start watching some old stuff, because you know how when you on YouTube you search wrestling, this and that. I started watching some Ring of Honor. I started watching this and that, and I saw him. I'm like, oh, this man is pretty smooth in that. Yeah, some people might say he's a high flyer with some of his moves. I'll say no. My personal opinion, I think I got to give him he's more technical in that ring.
Well,
you moved him backstage there, man. Up.
I did?
Yep. There you go.
My bad. I didn't try to do that.
I wish I could smack you right now. I was in mid conversation.
Mid thought.
What happened?
So much no.
It's just saying. But if you look at late '90s or early 2000s, yes, you will characterize AJ Styles as more of that. Is that the aerialist? Kind of in the same breath as when we were introduced to Will Ospreay. But as time has gone, they have evolved their presentation as well. So yeah, let me say, never been so no style, but you said absolutely. Like not. I mean, like AJ can adapt to truly what is definitely needed. So absolutely. So
I think the thing with AJ, and I think you can use this, you can probably use, like, I think of AJ as a high flying sort of aerialist. That's really sort of been his the base of his work is in that sort of style. He can throw a good submission on and things like that for sure. But I think too, with something we haven't addressed in the conversation, I don't want to get long-winded about this, but there's technical in the sense of like chain wrestling, suplexing, submission, and then there's technical in the sense of, boy, that guy is smooth in the ring and his stuff is believable and his stuff flows. And I think AJ is one of those guys that definitely I look at and go, like, the first time I ever saw him wrestle in Impact, I was like, damn, is that guy smooth? He is just so. He's so, like, his stuff looks believable. It's stiff, but he just flows in. Early Kenny Omega stuff in New Japan before he kind of got into AEW, like, oh man, that guy is smooth. Those wrestlers, Daniel Bryan as well, those kind of guys, and some of the other people that are going to be on this list tonight are also oftentimes those guys that, or gals that we look at and admire how they flow through stuff and how easy it looks for them. And just like ring awareness, footwork, all that stuff is just so on point. And so I think you can look at somebody like AJ and definitely say, wow, that guy is just technically so good. But would I call him a technician specifically in terms of style? Probably not. I think he's definitely more aerial based.
Exactly. If you were, I think if you were to poll the wrestling fans who followed his career, 8 out of 10, probably 9 out of 10.
Yeah, Antonio and Tony Thorpe both feel that Ultimate Warrior is without question the best technical wrestler. He's smooth.
That's what I was laughing at.
Well, you can interrupt my thought with that.
I love it, man. I love it.
I love it. Okay. Yeah. 8 out of 10 folks will say AJ is more aerial than technical, but he can do technical if called to do so.
For sure.
Absolutely.
We got a number 8 in the crowd from Generic. We got Jumbo Tsuruta.
I'm not. I've heard. That's not the first time I've heard that. I'm Japan illiterate, so it's like,
so picture somebody the size of like Brody or somebody the size of like Bam Bam, but can move like Bam used to be able to move, or like a Bigelow could move, or had that kind of movement. That's kind of what he was like. And he could also chain wrestle. He could really mat-based wrestle. He was a hell of a technical wrestler too. So
Generic Jobber, do me a favor. In the Facebook group, drop a video of a Jumbo Tsuruta match for all to enjoy. Do that for me. I appreciate that. JD,
hell of a wrestler.
Let's keep this party going. We're at 8. We're 30 minutes in, guys.
8 for me has to be Jack Sabre.
Jack Sabre Jr. Okay.
Jack Sabre Jr. I know that's a little low on the list for a lot of people. For him, he is right now probably, in my opinion, one of the best technical wrestlers in the profession right now. He's doing really innovative, creative things. The only thing that holds him down on my list is just age and time in. So maybe in another 5 years, he's at the top of my list. Right now, he's doing amazing things, but I want to see where he goes with it from here. Absolutely. Love what he's doing. I've got a few pictures of him on here. Spoilers. There's a few versions of him on here. What's really interesting about him is if you Google, and you do this at home, folks, if you have a few minutes, Google his name and type in Jack Sabre submission, and you're going to get a million different pictures that look like this. Like whose leg is what and whose arm is what.
Exactly.
You Google a Daniel Bryan, or you Google a Bret Hart, or you Google one of these other folks on here, Bob Backlund, you're going to see the same submission move in almost every single picture. And I think that speaks to his repertoire. He's doing some really innovative, creative stuff. None of his matches are ever the same finish. He does different submissions almost every time. So
absolutely. Yeah. Spoiler. Just Just saying. My number 8 is keep it in tune with the current technical wrestlers in the modern era. Former Ring of Honor World Champion Jonathan Gresham, the Octopus himself. So yeah, look at this freaking. Okay.
Sorry, I hit the wrong button there.
No, I'll don't worry. I will segue right to it right as we talk about Jonathan Gresham.
Sorry about that.
Segue right to it. Jonathan Gresham, whatnot. Joey is eloquently let us know whatnot. Definitely during that Ring of Honor era, going into the pandemic or whatnot. It was like the face of Ring of Honor, the pure division in Ring of Honor, and everything he's freaking doing, whatnot. Small package, but he can tie you up in knots. I love it, Jonathan Gresham. Segueing into my number 7, Lord Steven Regal, William Regal. How that's the man right there. Epic television title reign. It was definitely a different presentation when he debuted here in the United States in WCW. That whenever I think of British wrestling, whatnot, I think of that more technical style. I really do with the transition and whatnot. And matching hold for hold.
And a lot of that had to do with Wigan Snake Pit and that whole school of shoot wrestling, hooking sort of background in England. So
absolutely. So I got him at number 7. Man up.
My number 7 is going to be Dean Malenko. We talk about him a lot, the great matches he's had, how he put Rey Mysterio on the map, how they styles contrast, but they made it work.
Generic's right there with you.
Awesome, love it.
They would have made up 1,000 holes.
There, exactly. So yeah, that's the man of 1,000 holes.
Hey,
well, Chris Jericho was the man of 1,001 holds.
Exactly.
So I got because he can match with anyone. Nobody had to really change their styles in the ring when they got into the ring with him, and the things that how he was able to like Jason said earlier, how you can smooth transition from one thing to the next, from one move to the next, one hold to the next. I gotta give that credit to Dean Malenko.
Absolutely.
Nice. Solid.
Yeah.
My number, what are we on? 7?
Yes.
Yeah.
7 is from All Japan Pro Wrestling and then later Noah, Mitsuharu Misawa.
Okay.
This, again, legitimate amateur wrestling background, national world freestyle champion. He was considered one of the 4 pillars of heaven in All Japan Pro Wrestling. So he was one of the 4 wrestlers that Baba sort of built the company on and made a priority. And he was also the second Tiger Mask. He took over for the original. For some time, Baba had purchased rights to that gimmick, and he ran it in All Japan for quite a while. And he went on to be one of their most prolific champions and one of the best technical wrestlers in the world. Considered by he was actually listed by Pro Wrestling Illustrated quite a few times. He featured quite highly on their wrestling list, best of, quite a few times, which was quite an accomplishment back in the 90s when All Japan Pro Wrestling wasn't getting any TV time in North America at all. So pretty impressive. And if you want to see if you want to have a really good time, go just Google his name and look up Suplex. And you're gonna have a fun time, because that picture is pretty representative of pretty much what he did most of his career, just dropping people on their heads. So,
yep, man up. This is another move I want to do on you. Just pick him, just drop you on your bald head. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
All this hair, I had cushion. All this hair.
Okay.
Bullshit.
Love it. Awesome. Number six, Tiger.
Absolutely, those are those devastating moves, man.
I love it. At number six, keeping my love of it. Yeah,
I'm moving on. I'm moving it on. I
you go.
didn't want to do it too early this time.
No worries. Boy, I tell you, but JD's on the roll today. Dory Funk Jr. keeping my train going of traveling NWA World Champions. Definitely Dory Funk Jr. The man is still passing that knowledge. He's still training at the Funkin' Conservatory. And he has had his hand on training a lot of yes, especially when it comes to man up all day.
Scott's in the house. What's up, brother? Thanks for hanging out.
You all just don't know us. As soon as I see man up, it is on site. It is on site. Dory Funk Jr. Freaking amazing. So yeah, got him at number 6.
And using that spinning toe hold, which won him quite a few matches. So
exactly the classic funk spinning toe hold. Love it. Man up. Number 6.
All right, my number 6 is going to be the one that can do no wrong. He was
Nesha wants blood.
I didn't hear what he said.
Nesha said, "Let them fight." LOL.
Hey, if it happens, you better believe it's going to be on the YouTube channel. I'm telling you, it's going to happen.
Man, I'm going to talk to Joey. We're going to see if we can make this happen.
I'm just saying.
2 men enter, 1 man exits. That's what I'm
saying. So it's gonna be one like two men enter, 2 men limp out. I'm just saying.
Oh my goodness, I forgot where I was at now. My number 6 is gonna be Mr. Perfect. Forget it.
Okay, nice.
Mr. Perfect, man. To me, I think he brought a style of technician to the ring as well too. And he was simple with a lot of his stuff too. Well executed and stuff like that. Yes. Even right here with this suplex right here,
the perfect plex.
You couldn't do this no better than this, man. Yes. And everybody loved the way he done things and things like that. I hate that things didn't. I think he was already top level, but I think he should have had a title with the run with the title, in the WWF at that time. But it is what it is. I'm not going to get on that. But at the same time,
you did get on it. You brought it up.
I know, but I'm not going to get on it no more than that. But at the end of the day,
you lucky we don't have time. You lucky we don't have time. I'm going to go in on you.
Go ahead.
No, I ain't got. We ain't got time. We got to keep this party going.
Yeah, but thank you, that Nesha. But yeah, Mr. Perfect is a smooth technician as well, too, in my personal opinion.
Absolutely. JD, number 6.
Number 6 for me, he's already been mentioned, so I'll say a quick bit. It has to be Dean Malenko, man of 1,000 holds. Dean had a unique sort of chain wrestling ground-based game, which was really unique for a cruiserweight sort of size wrestler at that time. Yes. I mean, his stuff in ECW and WCW, he was primarily working against high flyers and luchadors. Mm-hmm. I loved the contrast of his mat-based game against the high flyers. He came up with some really great, innovative ways to sort of make that work. You wouldn't, on paper, that doesn't always look so great, but he did some amazing things with Rey Mysterio and Hoovy and a lot of the guys in the division at that time, and also Eddie Guerrero. Yes. So we had some. He was a breath of fresh air, just like Regal for me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Smooth as silk. Keeping that party going. I have Malenko at number 5. So we're going to keep that party going. Just flawless and smooth in the freaking ring. And just to reiterate as to what you said in the beginning, in which we talk about what we use as defining a technical wrestler, smooth. And everything he did had a purpose, and the way he transitioned to it was freaking amazing. So
absolutely. Generic had Misawa, Kobashi, Taui, and Kawada, the four
Okay.
pillars, all Japan. Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm Japan illiterate. I only know 2 of the 4. I'm just saying we might need to have another Japan episode.
Absolutely.
So Man Up and I could get educated because Man Up, you probably knew about 3 or 4 of those, or one of the 4. One of the 4. So absolutely.
And it's the one I already mentioned. It explains who he was tonight.
So we might.
I know one. The one he just told me.
Exactly. So we might have the next in the next calendar year we might have to bring a Japan show back.
And you already know who we're gonna bring on for that. So
exactly.
Try to bring on. Let me reword that. All right.
Exactly.
Go ahead, JD.
All right. You're next, sir. Who's your number 5? I think we're on.
Okay, my number 5 is gonna be we just brought him up. I ain't gonna spend too much time on, so we can catch up on time, and that's Mr. Bob Backlund right there.
Okay.
Ooh-wee. When I first started watching wrestling, well, I ain't gonna say watching, but I really got into it. Bob Backlund was in and out, back and forth in the business, and I've seen him a few times, and he put this hold on people, and it just looked like it hurt. It looked like your arm is just going to rip out the side.
I was going to say that when I looked at that picture today after I put it on there, I was like, I can't tell who's getting hurt more from that. Exactly. Bob looks like he's in pain. So.
but see, that's what I'm saying though. Stuff like that, I love that. So watching Bob Backlund a few times. Now I didn't watch a lot of his earlier stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like it amazing because when you look at Bob Backlund, whatnot, this dude during that his run from 78 to 83, this was one of the most popular dudes in the freaking business.
Yeah.
If you go back and look at a lot of his matches, especially from MSG, that crowd be popping hard for him, man. And this was back when his finish was the atomic spine, but the atomic drop. He hold you there forever. Then he drop you, then pin you. So yeah, so definitely a different era from what we see here. But if you haven't watched it, definitely go back, Google that, YouTube that. And check that stuff out, man. I love it.
And he comes just to piggyback on what Cedric was saying. He was crossing over from that territory, those territory days, right? I mean, it was just a little after him that Hogan came on the scene, and we started having the dissolution or the dissolving of the territories. So he was carrying the belt at a time when, I mean, Vince was letting him go going up to Minnesota. He let him go to Minnesota. He let him go
Minnesota. He went down to Georgia.
He let him travel. He let him travel with the belt. And the reason he let him travel with the belt was the same reason they put the belt on Lou Thesz in the first place, and a lot of the other early guys was because if it went down, he could actually.
He was that dude. He was that dude.
So people sleep on him, but he was a legit shoot fighter, shoot wrestler. So
yeah, exactly. Probably to this day, freaking locking folks up, man. So
people, the wrestlers all say like he's been on a couple of those, when they go out looking for the WWE historic stuff. Yes. There was an episode they went in to see him, and there's like the I can't remember who was with him, but he said, "Don't let Bob get a hold of you." He's like, don't let because he'll want to go up and put his hands on your shoulder and kind of like Stu Hart used to do and kind of make it look like. And then you just kind of lean into it.
Oh, Stu Hart, love it. I love it. I love it. All right,
All right.
We're at 4.
Yeah, absolutely. I had to go with America's favorite son, Mr. Kurt Angle.
You're 5. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yep. Number 5, I had to go with him. He Olympic world champion, decorated amateur wrestler, Smooth as hell in the ring. There are very few, I mean, people still to this day say that he probably acclimated to this business faster than anybody else they've ever
really
seen.
did.
Like he just took to it so quickly. And again, he falls into that category of not only being somebody that could chain wrestle, and he really did a great, probably the best job of anybody up to that point of integrating amateur wrestling into his repertoire and his moveset. Was really great. His suplexes are fantastic. Of course, he's known for the ankle lock, but I'm sure he knows a lot more than that. That just worked and sold in WWE well. So
absolutely, that's my transition on to my number 4. Yep, yep, my number 4. Yeah, Kurt Angle as well for everything that at JD said. Your Olympic hero, man up. That is your Olympic hero.
And you know it's true.
It's damn
true.
Just take note, that's Kurt Angle with hair. So that there was a time.
Jeez, JD, man. We have ball even transition back to the hair, man.
Going back into the archives, man.
I love it.
Oh man,
I love it.
Okay, we have Barry Windham from Generic Jobber. So smooth in the ring, especially during his JCP run. Yeah, man. For a man that size to move the way he moved, it was unbelievable.
Exactly.
Yeah. I remember the first time I saw Barry wrestle. I was because I'm from Canada, so we didn't get the NWA easily, so we had to do tape trading to get that stuff when I was younger. And I remember the first tape I ever got with Barry on it. Man, I couldn't believe somebody that tall and big could move like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That 87 run, especially that series that he had with Flair, man.
Ooh.
It's like,
oh man,
he was hot. He was hot, and that level that he was at for them to pull off that turn with Luger, for him to go to Horseman. That was freaking epic, because nobody was hotter than Barry Windham was in '87. It was crazy.
No.
I got a feeling that at least 2 of us, if not all 3, at least 2 of us gonna have the same number 1s.
Possible.
Maybe.
It's possible.
All right.
Gonna find out. Find out soon.
I just had to throw that in there. But anyway,
who you got for number 3, man?
4.
Number 4. Sorry, number 4, man up. Sorry.
Number 4 is gonna be someone that we all talked about already, so I ain't gonna spend too much time on him. That's Lord Steven Regal, William Regal, whatever you want to call him. Look at that hold right there.
That STF. That's that STF, man.
You can't even tell who that is. He got that on there smooth.
Yeah. I'm looking too, like, ooh.
You can't even tell who that is.
Is that Randy?
Might be.
Might be. I'm looking at the tight, so
might be.
It might be. Who knows?
It's one of those things like
so we don't know. So
you got to lean in and go. Are you Randy?
Are you Randy?
Hey, Randy. Yeah.
Let him breathe, Steven. Let him breathe.
But yeah, so I gotta give William Regal some love, man. I ain't gonna spend too much time on him. We talked about him, but William Regal, man. Love that guy.
Love it. All right. My next is Kurt Angle. Or not Kurt Angle, but
the other Kurt.
Kurt Hennig. The other Kurt. The one throwing the suplex, not taking it.
Exactly.
Kurt Hennig. WWE even went on record and credited Hennig for raising the standard of technical wrestling in the WWE in the 80s. I mean, for them to actually go out and make that statement and give him that credit, I think says chapters about him.
Sure.
And I think I've read somewhere Bob Ryder and Dave Scherer, who are 2 professional wrestling journalists, both recognized him as one of the best all-around competitors the business has ever produced. He's everything that we've already said. He was so, man, I remember the first time he walked out and slapped the gum out of the air as he spit it out of his mouth, and I was on board. I was like, damn, that guy is like just the coordination in this and the athleticism that he had. He was smooth. His footwork was unbelievable. His kip ups, his suplexes, his neck breakers, that swinging neck breaker that he threw, just everything was so smooth and beautiful. So
Exactly. He's my number 3. So yeah. He came over to the WWF right after his AWA title run. Man, he was definitely showcasing that up in Minnesota. So it was just a natural progression for him to go to WWF. Synonymous with holding this belt right here. When you think of the Intercontinental champions, the Worksman titles, this man is at the top of that conversation as a holder of this freaking belt. If you go back and take a look at it, in the ring, he does. He'll run off the ropes. He'll jump over somebody to come off the ropes, and that running freaking drop kick is a thing of freaking beauty, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'll find the clip, and I'm put
man. Even the way he'd leave the ring, like even the way he'd go over the ropes, like the way he'd take a clothesline and spin out of the ring, and like it was just
agile, smooth.
Man, he's just the way he'd always have his feet under him, and he was always in position. So
exactly. So
yeah.
So
love it.
All right, man up, number 3.
My number 3 is going to be that other Kurt. We just talked about him.
Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle. I am a huge Kurt Angle fan. Like he said, it's damn true. And there he go right there with the hair, and he actually suplexed the guy who cut his hair.
Nice.
So that's an easy segue right there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Kurt Angle was smooth. It was like y'all said, it's been on record that he is the fastest one to learn this business and get it down pat. Mm-hmm. And I don't think, correct my memory if I'm wrong, but I don't think nobody had a push as big as Kurt Angle in the modern era. Well, yeah,
sure, they had a little something in WCW had a freaking undisputed streak. Yeah, mm-hmm. That guy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, but yeah, so I think Kurt Angle, is to me one of the smoothest technicians in there. But y'all got to stay tuned to see who is my smoothest technician.
Yeah, okay. and generic, we did have if that is generic, we did have Man Up had Chris as number 10 starting.
Yeah, you can go back. You can go back and watch that. You can go back and watch that. You go back and watch that.
And I agree. I think from a technical standpoint, he's one of the best that ever wrestled. We just don't include him oftentimes because of his
absolutely
unfortunate end. So, my number, whatever we're on now, number 3 is Lou Thesz. I already sort of mentioned him before. He's there wrestling.
Short arm scissors right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And again, he was. They put the belt on him in the first place because he was a legitimate hook shoot fighter. Just a little bit about his background. He trained Greek Olympic freestyle shoot wrestling with George Tragos. Then he studied under German-born catch wrestler Ad Santel. Then he went on to compete against and then train with Ed Strangler Lewis. And then he trained at the Snake Pit in Wigan, England. So he trained with killers, with absolute killers. And so he could take your arm or your leg home with him if you wanted to, and there wasn't much you could do about it. So he was the perfect traveling NWA champion at that time, and they kept with that tradition for quite a long time, where they would purposely put the belt on somebody who could legitimately wrestle for it if he needed to, and prevent promoters from changing the outcome.
Absolutely. You are a gem, JD. I love that history right there, man. That was good stuff right there. All right, we're coming over on the home stretch, guys. At number 2, I have Bret the Hitman Hart. Yes, absolutely. Another one synonymous with holding the British Bulldog. I'm gonna come back to that one. Time permitting, I'm gonna come back to that one. Talking about men synonymous with the Intercontinental title and the workman's title, whatnot. SummerSlam '90 was Kurt Hennig and Bret the Hitman Hart. just go back and look at the finish of that match. I had never seen that happen before. Where Mr. Perfect is holding Bret's legs. He was going to drop the leg, the leg in between them. Bret caught the leg, twisted it over, flipped him over, put him in the sharpshooter. That was the finish. I had never seen anything like that before, and I was like, "Oh, that was smooth. A great way for a finish." Yeah, man. It was that right there, man. So Bret and Owen belong. Oh, absolutely. So yeah, Bret Hart at number 2.
Who you got, man up?
All right, my number 2 is going to be the person that Bret Hart had that hold on. I'm talking about Stone Cold. And Stone Cold, yes, he did come out as a brawler, but I think after he had that neck injury, he changed his style a lot and became more of a technician. Now, did he still keep some of that brawling?
I wouldn't say that because he was more mudhole smashing versus anything.
So yeah, I'm gonna suggest it was actually the opposite. It was that like when he was in WCW and even when he came in as the ringmaster initially in WWE, he was trying to work that technical sort of the style. When he got injured with the neck and he couldn't move the same way he used to be able to move, then he started to rely more on that smash mouth.
I gotta say, I think he was more of a technical after that.
Okay. All right, man. Up. Here's your homework. Here's your homework. Go and jot this down. I want you to find me three technical matches for Stone Cold Steve Austin post 1997. That's when he after SummerSlam 1997. I want you to find me 3 matches that you would say was a technical marvel as for Steve Austin. Okay.
And I can tell you one off the top of my head right now. And
we ain't got time. We got to keep it going. You all tune in next. Tune in. We go man. Give that to us. So you all stay tuned for that. Mm-hmm. You all stay tuned for that. JD, number 2.
Number 2 for me is Bryan Danielson.
Absolutely.
Not Daniel Bryan. Bryan Danielson. I think he's probably one of the most prolific technical wrestlers we've had in the last 10 years, certainly. His stuff got a little restricted in his run in the WWE, obviously, because he had to work that style. So we weren't seeing the same sort of, how do I put it? We weren't seeing the same sort of variety of repertoire with him that we would have seen in Ring of Honor and later even in AEW. We're not seeing the best Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson in AEW right now because he's getting injured every other match, obviously. So that's unfortunate. But his recent match with Jack Sabre Jr. was phenomenal. Mm-hmm. His match with Okada recently was phenomenal. You give him the right dance partner who can sort of hang with him technically, and you're going to see some pretty, still even with his injuries, some pretty magical stuff. He cited a number of wrestlers that we've already talked about tonight, like Mitsuharu Misawa and William Regal as huge influences of his style. And he's also obviously added a lot of jiu-jitsu and sort of submission-based martial arts sort of repertoire in there as well. So
absolutely.
And I see that
you got someone else you agree with. Awesome. Eye to eye. Love it. I love it. All right, we've come to the last one at number 1, and I have at number 1 Zack Sabre Jr. Definitely one of the best going today. I mean, as he ties folks up, I've had that opportunity to see him a couple of times here in Texas, seeing him live, and he definitely didn't fail to impress. Continue to show his repertoire, and I got him at number 1.
Nice, solid choice.
Mm-hmm.
All
right, man. Up you and I, we're I don't know how, but we're on the same page tonight, my friend.
There it is.
Yeah.
So I'll let you go. I'm gonna let you go first.
I said at least 2 of us was gonna have him number 1.
There you go.
Come on now, Bret Hart Who cannot say Bret Hart is the smoothest technician
The
of all
best
time?
there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
Yes.
Enough said. I ain't gotta say nothing else.
There you go.
JD. Go ahead, JD. I ain't gotta say nothing else.
You're gonna have to give me a minute here because I'm Canadian, so bear with me.
Sure.
All right.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. So give me a sec here. So I mean, a lot of people don't know that Brett actually came up as an amateur wrestler in Canada. He was a high school and a university national champion. He obviously came up in a melting pot of European and Japanese influences in Stampede Wrestling, where he cut his teeth with his father, Stu Hart, in Stampede Wrestling. And his style, even though he really had the 5 moves of doom in WWE, you know, elbow drop, Russian leg sweep, elbow drop, etc. What was it? It was Russian leg sweep, backbreaker, elbow drop, and then second rope, and then the sharpshooter. So he had the 5 moves of doom.
Sure.
It wasn't just with him about his move sequences or his repertoire submission. It was again like a Kurt Hennig. It was how smooth he was in the ring. It was how believable his stuff looked. He wasn't even touching people a lot of the time, but everything he threw looked like it had bad intention.
Sure.
When he threw it. And I can still watch most of the wrestlers that I go back to now that I watched in my childhood are the wrestlers like Vader or Bret Hart or the Rough Styles, those sort of the Smash Mouth folks in the Japan scene are the people that their stuff sort of still how do I want to say it? It's still believable. It stands the test of time, and I think his stuff stands the test of time. Absolutely. I think he's one of the best to ever do it, and a lot of wrestlers call him the best they've ever worked with for good reason, because he was so smooth and easy to work with in the ring. So for that reason, number 1.
Yes.
Awesome, guys. Great freaking show. I loved it. I want to give a shout out to everybody who watch it, whatnot. We love that freaking input. We had to adjust fire a little bit so we can get everything in. So we definitely love it.
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
Exactly. So we definitely love the feedback. As always, guys, we definitely appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. For those of you all watching us here in the Facebook group, we definitely appreciate you. And if you watching us on other platforms, please consider giving our group a join. We do polls. We have guess the faction. There's some joy that's going on right now. So we definitely invite you over to Bells and Bells, the Facebook group. Man up.
Hey, if you like everything you saw and everything that Cedric just said, you know, there are perks for joining us on Facebook, and there's perks for joining us on YouTube. And the perks for joining us on YouTube is we do more than these 1-hour shows. We do live events. We do unboxing, belt reviews. We do everything pertaining to wrestling. That's why we call Bells and Bells, and everything in between. So when you subscribe to us on YouTube, make sure you hit that all notifications. So that way, anytime we do anything on YouTube, you will be notified. JD, what else can they do?
They can also find us in Champions Belt Club on Facebook as well. We have daily trivia, daily history, wrestling news, and we have a wrestling Friday fantasy wrestling poll that we're doing right now. You vote and you let us know who you think should be winning the various matches on each Friday, all culminating in a final match to decide who the greatest NWA world champion right now in this poll is of all time. Who is the man? You got to come in there and let us know with your vote. So
absolutely. So again, great show, guys. And we next week we got another great show right there, JD.
We do. My brother from another mother, Mr. Tony Thorpe. He's a co-admin with me at Champions Belt Club. One of the nicest guys in the belt and wrestling community. And man, what a collection this guy has, man. He's got belts coming out the yazoo. He's got LGN figures. He's got everything you can think of in his man cave.
Absolutely. So make sure you guys join us next week for that. We're going to have a blast with Tony. Hey guys, come back next week. Let's do this again, okay?
Let's do this.
Can we come back next week?
I think we can do this again next week.
You better come back next week because you got homework.
Yeah,
I'm doing it right now.
Okay, and we'll have Joy back here with us. So we invite you all to come back here and join us next week here on Bells and Belts.
Yeah.